Jhin might be the most satisfying champion in League. He has 4 bullets that feel incredible to shoot, 4 unique abilities that are unlike any other champions, and every Jhin on my team has 4 brain cells they use to try and play him. I have found a master player who instead plays Jhin Top Lane. This guy is stupidly dedicated to his champion, and his style brings back memories of AD carries from seasons ago, when they had the damage early game to match enemies, and then they absolutely destroyed everyone once they got a few items. In top lane, Jhin is completely different. Each of his abilities have a new use. His W becomes a peel tool, his traps turn into a 1v1 kill ability, and his ult is now used for wave clear. Picture this, you're in a game of League. Enemies have lots of assassins and high damage ready to one-shot you. What do you need? Well, as this video is sponsored by Atlas VPN, let me tell you about it in a way only a League player could understand. So the enemies have damage, you want to protect yourself with a tank item. Just like Atlas VPN protects your data and activity, don't miss out on the peace of mind it can give you. So now you've got a tank item, enemies won't hurt you as much, but you are a bit slow, maybe a bit weighed down? Well, not with Atlas VPN, their servers are fast, you do not need to sacrifice speed for security, so grab some boots and get back at full speed. Oh, but you forgot about your teammates, you can't win the game alone. Get a Knight's Vow and protect them from all the damage. Just like with Atlas VPN, your one account can be used on multiple devices. Now you're fully protected, and you know what goes great with lots of health? Get Titanic Hydra. Turn this tankiness into damage. Go on the offensive with Atlas VPN to get the most out of your streaming services. You can now watch TV shows and movies that are unavailable in your country due to licensing issues. Currently, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount on their 3-year deal for just $1.39 per month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. The deal won't last for long and is one of the cheapest I have ever seen, so make sure to check it out by clicking the link in the video description below. Our player today is named Jhin Top Troll. Yes, I promise he has a real strategy and this is not just a griefer. Back in Season 6, when Riot used to actually put effort into their champion releases, our player got caught up in the crazy teasers and trailers of the new Deadeye champion, which we now know as Jhin. Right away, this guy had no plan to play him as AD carry. He was a top lane player. He loved playing Udyr and Nasus, so he just decided he would not listen to the meta that Riot was making, and instead create his own. So he played almost 2,000 games of Jhin Top. Oh yeah, that was just one season. Since then, he has played over 5,000 more games of Jhin, so just about 7,000 total over the years. Mostly top lane, even though this guy is most likely insane. In Season 11, his strategy was finally refined enough to get him to Master Tier with only Jhin Top. This strategy is a completely new version of Jhin. Your goal is not to farm and scale up. Jhin Top is a solo killing champion that cannot be counterpicked. In lane at level 1, Jhin takes Q, using it on the 3 melee minions to finish them all off. He waits and then does the same thing with the range minions, immediately getting the wave push and starting his first strategy. Jhin Top wants to have complete control of the wave and stay ahead of his enemy. Thanks to him being ranged, even at level 1 he can take big auto attack trades and just kite away from any damage. So it's important for him to use his level 1 advantage, poke and get level 2 first. At level 2, Jhin takes his W. He keeps pushing and harassing, growing the size of his wave to ensure enemies cannot even think about fighting him. If they do jump into his wave, he presses W, locking them inside his minions and winning the trade. At level 3, again, Jhin takes another point in Q and can hard pressure enemies for a kill. Even this early on, Jhin can one-shot squishy champions thanks to his Ignite. Our player takes Ignite Flash every game since it combos so well with Jin's 4th shot. His goal is to get enemies to 120 HP using abilities and his Ignite, so that then his 4th bullet will always execute them. Ignite is good for extending your damage to get kills, and it saves you gold since you don't need to buy anti-healing. He has now poked the enemy top down and stacked his wave to get to the enemy tower. A Q Ignite into 4th bullet under tower is all he needs to finish off the kill. This actually happens in a crazy amount of his games because people don't respect his game plan. If he can get all this poke off in these first 3 levels, then this dive will work every time in any matchup. Jhin enters the game going for this exact plan every game. Meanwhile, enemies have no clue what to do against a Jhin top lane that they think might just be trolling. Jhin always needs to keep the enemy top low so that they have no options. It doesn't matter if you're a squishy champion or if you're a mobile, if the enemies are on 200 HP. They cannot risk walking up and fighting you. This is partially why he cannot be counterpicked, as well as the fact that no master player is going to assume they're playing against a Jhin top, and so enemies get surprised in loading screen and try to adapt. The enemy jungler always tries to gank him early on, sometimes dying to him 1v1, or the gank is avoided by clever positioning. Whenever the enemy jungler starts bot side to path top and gank him, Jhin has seen this happen 1,000 times, actually probably more than 1,000 times, so he can just walk back out of vision and avoid the gank. He does this around 2 minutes 35 for the fast clearing junglers, and 3 minutes 10 onwards for the slower full clear junglers, but he doesn't have to rely only on his positioning. He wards early on and starts placing traps in very specific locations. To avoid ganks, you want to predict the shortest path the enemy jungler will take to gank you, so in choke points and near walls. But traps also have another use for Jhin Top. If Jhin is overextended, instead of planning to run away and escape, he plans to kite enemies to their deaths, stacking traps on top of each other, so when the enemy chases him, he can lock them down with a W, and they'll take an extra 500 damage just from a couple of traps on the ground, which can lead to a free kill. Jhin stays ahead in XP, so that when he gets level 6, he can again do another dive strategy, using all of his abilities to burst the enemy, getting his ult, and using it long range to snipe enemies under tower. If you've poked enemies down, this will be enough to kill them. If you get level 6 first, it means you can win the lane immediately with this kill. If you get it second, you're likely dead to a Camille ult or a Tryndamere who's going to dive you, so it's very important to push these waves and get it earlier. If enemies instead engage onto him, he focuses on kiting and using auto attack damage to finish off the kill, and then ults after they die. The purpose of this is to instantly push the wave, firing all 4 of the AoE damage bullets through the minions, immediately getting his wave to their tower. This gets him a couple of plates, so he can base and do the same thing again. A couple of early kills and Jin's damage is more than enough to take the tower by himself. He keeps playing aggressive, but now has an extra tool, his mythic item. If he's likely to get engaged on or dived, he goes for a mortal shield bow. In 1v1s, this item is super effective at stopping burst damage, giving Jhin the extra time he needs to turn the fight. But if he wants the real one-shot style build against squishy top laners, Jhin instead goes for Eclipse, so that when he pokes an enemy down, they're really easy to finish off and start snowballing the game. Wherever he is in the game, there is one ability that's way more important than any of the others, his W. In lane early on, Jhin W acts as a peeling tool, letting him stop enemies engaging to kite them away and chase them down for an easy trade. But then, in mid-game, Jhin aims to group up with his team and look for picks with the long-range CC, tagging enemies who are really far away to set up kills, all while using his crazy auto-attack damage if he is ever jumped on. If there is no fight, then Jhin starts to split push, trying to drag enemies away from the objective on the other side of the map. This pick is definitely a pressure magnet, which should mean his jungler is going to have a very easy game. He can get free objectives on the opposite side of the map, or he can get free counter ganks if he comes top lane. Split pushing, weirdly, is quite good on Jhin, and it gets better the later the game goes. With a Storm Razor in his build, if he's collapsed on, Jhin can just sprint away, kiting enemies to waste their time. This build looks quite similar to the fast Earth build, which is viable thanks to your hyper-accelerated XP and gold from being in a solo lane. Junglers cannot 1v1 you, and the enemy top laner is going to keep struggling under their tower, with your high damage crits taking objectives very quickly. If split pushing is too risky or his team needs help, then Jhin Top instead groups up for team fights. The great thing about team fighting with Jhin Top is that your team comp will always have too many threats for enemies to handle. There's a Kassadin, a Caitlyn, a Blitzcrank hook all to worry about, and now there's a very strong Jhin as well, so if enemies make any mistakes, you will have more than enough damage to kill everyone. Anytime he goes near a bot lane AD carry, it's just funny to watch. They will start auto-attacking him, Jhin will kinda look like he's about to die, but then he just gets his 4th bullet off and they are destroyed with no possible way of outplaying it. This all leads up to Jin's level 16. If he has not won the game already, he will now have full crit with Infinity Edge and lots of armor pen. He can chunk through carries, tanks, and even last hit objectives. Late game, Jin's 4th bullet on Baron and Dragon can outdamage Smite very easily, so you can now secure objectives by yourself. This Jhin has actually been banned for playing this strategy midway through season 11. Right as he was starting to have success with the pick and perfect his strategy, his account got permabanned. Of course, we all know there's only one way to get your account banned, and that is typing in the chat. So let me quote his point of view. I got banned because I flamed the flamers. I did get many chat restrictions before this, but I just hate narrow-minded and elitist players who blame Jhin Top for the loss when they themselves are 0-12 bot lane. I am certain he must have said some pretty bad things, but he does bring up a good point for climbing in solo queue. So many people care only about if their teammates are picking the best meta champion possible in their game, and flame them if they do anything else. But would you really want this 7,000 game Jhin Top player to pick Camille or Aurelia for the first time instead of his one trick? It's always better to just never type and just accept the situation you get into, focusing only on your specific game plan, just like this Jhin did to get to Master. Every game he bans Yasuo because that champion has one ability that blocks all of Jin's damage. His special Jhin Top build is simple. Start Doran's Blade, first item Shield Bow if you need to survive all-ins, or Eclipse if you're against a squishy champion that you can poke and one-shot. The Shield Bow build is able to scale incredibly well to late game with crit, slows, and armor pen. The Eclipse build is all lethality, and it focuses on destroying your lane and then quickly ending the game with your your crazy high damage. His boot choices are weird. Berserker Greaves are usually his default boots. He goes Swifties if he has 900 gold when he bases, but if enemies have lots of AP, then Mercury Treads are good, and Plated Steel Caps if they have lots of AD. Each build also has a specific rune page to go with it that's vital to his success. The Shield Bow build takes Fleet Footwork to give extra mobility for kiting, since you like to be in long fights and get lots of crits off. The Eclipse build likes much shorter fights, so there's only really one option, Dark Harvest. You can stack it up by getting kills in lane, and then in fights you can just get kill after kill. I am streaming Jhin Top, as well as lots more off-meta picks on our climb to Master at twitch.tv/HappyChimeNoises, so please come watch. Thanks again to Atlas for sponsoring the video, links to both of these are in the description.